they'd be God-fearing people. That's the only way democracy will work. You see, democracy becomes whatever the people are. And if people become pagan and immoral and violent, then the government becomes pagan and immoral and violent. You put 5 people on a little island out there, and 3 of them get together and decide they're going to beat up on the other 2. Well, that's democracy. But that's democracy at its worst. Democracy has a capability of becoming an evil form of government if the people are evil. And I'm concerned that the tide is turning in this country because we've been infiltrated by views from no telling where, from third world countries. And we're not man enough to stand up and say, I'm a Christian, I will not go along with what you're saying. Theocracy, that was a form of government over Israel. They looked to God as their governor, their sole source. And then his word was brought to the people by the priests and the prophets. And they didn't like that. They said, no, Lord, but look at all these other countries. They got kings. We would like to have a king, I think. So God sent them a king. Saul, David, Solomon. But they didn't like that either. The point is, whatever form of government, whether it be democracy or theocracy or monarchy or pagan or godly, God still has to work through his people. God, I keep saying this over and over and over, is sovereign. He is our creator. And he expects us to work through him so that he in turn can work through us in this great country that we call the United States of America. You know, to be the best possible Christian citizens we can be, we need to seek God's continued grace upon our nation. I'm convinced, by God's grace and mercy, that our nation even came into existence. Those founding fathers back there, they wrote that old Constitution with our Creator in mind, didn't they? Can you imagine what it would be today if a group up there had to sit down and come up with a Constitution? Would God be involved? One nation under God. God has blessed this country. And I want it to be, I want him to continue to bless this country for our grandkids, somebody's grandkids, for our future generation. But he's not going to bless us if we just continue to thumb our noses at him and turn away. Oh, God's grace was just poured out upon us when our founding fathers saw his guidance and his protection in forming a republic on this continent like the world had never known. Freedom, religious freedom, freedom for men and women and boys and girls. You know what old Isaiah says? He says, surely the nations are like a drop in a bucket. They're regarded as dust on the scales. What do I mean by that? Regarded as dust on the scales. I mean, this came from the old great prophet Isaiah. He's reminded us just how fragile and how temporary we can be as a nation. how rich we seem to be. We're just a disaster or two away from destruction. And you know what? If God chooses to do so, He could blow us away just as easily as the wind blows the dust off of those old scales that Isaiah was talking about. Oh, I love this verse in 2 Chronicles, and it's one that we use a lot. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and what? Turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and you know what? I'll forgive their sin, and I'll what? I'll heal their land. That's where we are right now. That's where this great country is. We need to hit our knees and say, God, forgive us for the direction we've been going. Would you heal this land, this great land? Would you heal my heart? What would you bring me back so very close to you? You'll notice this passage is not addressed to sinners or unbelievers. This passage is addressed to believers that have strayed, that have fallen away. Oh, you know, if God's going to restore this great country, the United States of America, and make us Christian citizens, then we've got to make our faith apparent. We can't be intimidated by our faith. We can't be afraid to witness and share Jesus Christ with our co-workers or whoever we come in contact with. We've got to be witnesses.